This is in the Washington Free Beacon. This story they've done on Mamdani's wife, I am not kidding you. This is Pulitzer Prize caliber investigative journalism right here. And very few people are even going to know about it. Here's the headline. Zohran Mamdani's wife celebrated Palestinian terrorist, including a plane hijacker and social media post from early adulthood. Okay, she also boosted a post that said Tel Aviv shouldn't exist. Tel Aviv, it's a city in Israel, by the way, for those of you that are liberally impaired. New York City's First Lady glorified terrorist violence, this is the article I'm reading from, in a wide range of posts made on social media when she was a teenager and in her early 20s, celebrating members of the Popular Front for Liberation of Palestine terror group and the First Intifada. By the way, 9/11, when they took down the trade centers in the city that she's the first lady of, that was part of the global intifada, by the way, that she was supporting. According to a Washington Free Beacon review of her old X and Tumblr accounts that they found, she's 28 years old. She posted a photo to her Tumblr account in September 2017 when she would have been 20 of the infamous Palestinian terrorist Layla Khalid. She had a fake username. They tracked down all of her old usernames. She echoed one of Khalid's most famous statements. "If it does good for my cause, I'll be happy to accept death," the caption read. Khalid, a longtime member of the Palestinian Liberation Front, a U.S. designated terrorist organization, participated in plane hijackings in 1969 and 1970. Between the two hijackings, she underwent several cosmetic surgery procedures to disguise her identity. In the 1970 hijacking, Khalid threatened to detonate a grenade unless the pilots let her into the cockpit. Today, she's revered by terrorists and their allies as the first woman to hijack a plane. See, do you understand? Khalid is a hero, or I'll use the feminine gender, a heroine to Mamdani's wife. A plane hijacker. The First Lady of New York City admires a plane hijacker. She was in her late teens and early 20s. This is back to the wife here. When she made the majority of the post, and the accounts which she made them appear to be inactive now. They came at a time when she was living in the Middle East. While she's of Syrian descent, she spent her early childhood in New Jersey. Her family moved to Dubai in 2006. She transferred from the Virginia Commonwealth University School of Arts in Qatar to the school's campus in Richmond, Virginia. What the heck does a school in Richmond, Virginia have a Qatar campus? In the post, Mamdani's wife celebrated other members of the terrorist PFLP as well. In March 2015, when she was 17, New York City's future First Lady reposted a tweet on International Women's Day, praising the terrorist Shadia Abu Ghazla. It shows a photo of the terrorist, a leading figure in the PFLP, who participated in the bombings of an Israeli bus and led several other terrorist attacks, posing with a rifle. She was killed in 1968 when a bomb she was building in her home, intended to blow up a building in Tel Aviv, exploded accidentally. The late terrorist is considered a martyr in Palestinian society and is a namesake of a school in Gaza. What the heck? She's a real beaut. This is what she posted on social media, Mamdani's wife. She put the woman's name in, which I can't pronounce, Shadia Abu Ghazala. First Palestinian woman to fight in resistance after 1967 occupation. Hashtag International Women's Day, the post read. So in the first post, she's honoring the first female plane hijacker, Crazy Town. Now another bomber she's honoring on Women's Day. She posted another photo to her Tumblr account in December 2017, this one showing a Khalifa-clad Palestinian sewing a flag. Photography. A Palestinian demonstrator sews a Palestinian Liberation Organization flag. Remember the PLO, Arafat's group? Before a protest during the first Intifada. February 1988, the caption reads. And by the way, all these posts, they have screenshots, are in the Free Beacon article. You can see them all. They're on my X at Brian Craig Show. The first Intifada, this is the Free Beacon article, a terrorist uprising during which Hamas was established, lasted from 87 to 93. Saw Palestinians kill 200 Israelis, hundreds of other Palestinians, suspected of collaborating with the Jewish state. So the first Intifada she's celebrating. The second Intifada is 9/11. Now, the first Intifada, I can be wrong about this, but I think the first Intifada, that the first attack on the World Trade Center was a part of the first Intifada. I could be wrong. That may be technically the second Intifada, but I think it's the first Intifada. In September 2017, Mamdani's wife shared an image of a Bangladesh postage stamp reading, "We salute the valiant freedom fighters of Palestine." Of course, Jew-killing terrorists she's celebrating. She reposted an attack against U.S. service members on her Tumblr account in July 2015. Here's the post. Taps Mike. American soldiers fighting in imperialist wars are not brave, nor are they fighting for anyone's freedom, her post read. They are mercilessly slaughtering third world civilians and fighting to maintain American hegemony. That is all. Thank you. Drop Mike. In December of that year, Mamdani's wife posted another Tumblr user who said, listen to this. This is what she reposted on Tumblr. Mamdani's wife. White people created Al-Qaeda. First Lady of New York City. Al-Qaeda took down the World Trade Center towers. She says white people created Al-Qaeda. Don't you understand? Mamdani and his wife are not Americans in their hearts and minds. They may have some paper that says they're U.S. citizens, but they're not one of us in their hearts or their minds. They're foreigners, and some pretty bad ones. This is what she wrote. You can't blame Muslims for terrorism because they didn't construct, fund, nor train Al-Qaeda. White people did that too. Oh my goodness. In 2015 on Snapchat, she said Tel Aviv, she added Tel Aviv to its live story feature, showing user-submitted photos and videos from a particular location. The decision sparked backlash from anti-Israeli users, including Mamdani's wife, who retweeted a series of posts from her account. She tweeted this, but in all realities, Snapchat has disappointed me. #Tel Aviv. She used the full word, by the way. She said, #Tel Aviv. Shouldn't exist in the first place. They're occupiers. You celebrated them, read Mamdani's wife's post. And finally, hey, Snapchat, as you give Israelis an outlet to celebrate their atrocities, you're supporting a genocidal state by #Tel Aviv. Now here we go. Listen to this. On February 2nd, 2013, Mamdani's wife, who is not black, right? She's Syrian, used the N-word in a post on X. Allah F hell, yeah. And then she used the N-word. Super duper genius. Excuse me. Use the N-word right there and that. A representative from Mamdani did not respond to a request by the Free Beacon for comment. Shocker. And they go on with some other things. Listen to this. Earlier this month, news emerged that Mamdani's wife had liked a number of Instagram posts celebrating October 7th. That's the music festival attack in Israel, including one calling reports of sexual violence against Israeli civilians a mass rape hoax. She said it was a mass rape hoax. My goodness. The mayor and his wife dying this month with anti-Israeli Colombian activist Khalil. We know all of that. Now, this investigative report that the Free Beacon did, they explain a little bit of how they did that. Listen to this. The Free Beacon was able to link to her accounts through several means. Both of them mention her name in some form and different X-users tagged her accounts alongside an image of her that Free Beacon verified with publicly available facial recognition technology. The accounts also mention her birthday and the name of her pet cat. So they used all of that to verify that they were her. And, you know, I know what an immediate reaction would be. Well, what do you expect? You know, they should have known and all this stuff. Listen, if we only talked about things that surprised us, we wouldn't talk about much. Because nothing a liberal does, nothing that happens from the Democrats that comes up ever surprises me. It never amazes me how low and scummy they can be. However, these posts of hers are beyond imagination. Could you imagine if Melania had only one post similar to that? She has over a decade of racist posts celebrating hijackers, plane hijackers, defending Al-Qaeda, using the N-word. The list goes on. First Lady of New York City. And they need to be called out. They need to be discussed. It needs to be exposed. Because people need to